Hey guys, Vapor Feline here. So today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell you guys a story. I'm going to tell you a story of the first time I was ever sent to the principal's office. So it was an elementary school, and it was during recess. Now our recess area, or our playground, was kind of split up in three different areas. In the middle was an ice rink. Now, remember, I'm in Alaska, so that was a pretty normal thing. Probably about at least half the time that you were in school, there was an ice rink there full of ice, and you could go skating. That was completely normal. So in the middle was the ice rink. And then next, on each side of the ice rink, we had two of the playgrounds. There was the big playground and the small playground. The big playground, it had, swing sets, tire swings, monkey bars, a couple like tubes, tunnels, and all that. On the other side was the little playground, which had, I think it had one set of monkey bars. It didn't have any swings. It had this big red wall, and I think there might have been a tunnel or two. But then on the other side of the ice rink, there was the soccer field. Now the soccer field was kind of the biggest thing that, it was the biggest attraction on the playground. That was where most of the kids spent their time. Usually it was, 20 kids versus 20 kids scrambling to get a ball with a couple of what we called duties, which were pretty much like the security guards of the elementary school, which is just where the teachers went out and they would watch you guys, make sure nobody hurt each other. Well, so there'd be 40 kids out in this field, and there was always this one kid. His name was Ivan. He was a Russian guy. I think his parents, one was like a rocket scientist, another one definitely worked for NASA. He moved to Alaska because he was helping NASA, or his parents were helping NASA with some kind of project. But the point is, this kid was an absolute beast at soccer, but he was also an asshole and a ball hog. So naturally, as a bunch of kids would, we came up with a scheme to have Ivan have less of the ball. Every single game that we played, we would have one person go around and pretty much sabotage the game. So what you do is you go up to Ivan while he has the ball, and you kick him in the shin. It was easy, it was simple, it was effective, but it wasn't really allowed. So we usually kind of took turns, because, the duties would notice. They would tell, someone goes up to him and kicks him, and then he goes, ah, I wasn't very old. I think about this time I was probably in 4th grade. So it was my turn to be the Ivan kicker. So I go up, he's running down the field, right? He's got the ball. No one else has touched the ball in the last 5 minutes. So he's running. I'm next to him. I go to kick his leg. It doesn't quite work out very well. See, I'm not a very functioning person sports-wise. It just has never gone well for me, honestly. I just don't have the feet for it. But I end out tripping him. He falls. He hits his face on the ground. He gets a bloody nose. Granted, he does not have the ball anymore, so my duty is done. But of course, the duties see, they blow their little whistles. 3 of them come over, they huddle me, and they're blah, 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 blah. Why'd you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And they send me to the principal's office. Now, at this point, they're taking me, they've got me by my ear, they're dragging me in, and I think I'm screwed. Because my parents would not be okay with this. And this was my first time ever being sent. This was a big deal. If you were sent to the principal's office, either you had straight A's for your entire life. Well, I guess at that point, that was only 4 or 5 years in school. Or, you killed someone. So they bring me inside, and they bring you to this waiting area outside the door. You're there with a couple other kids, and you're just sitting there in silence. If you say anything, they're going to say, don't stop talking. And it's kind of supposed to scare you almost a little bit. I'm sure every principal office has the same thing, where the waiting room, where you think about the things that you've done. Now, honestly, I wasn't regretting this at all, because Ivan was a douchebag, to be honest. To be as clean and plain and simple as it is, he was a douchebag. He was never nice to anyone, and he was way too good at soccer. I don't hate him for that, but I did not enjoy his company. Either way, so I'm sitting there, and I should be regretting what I've done, but honestly, I'm just kind of chuckling to myself. See, next to the principal's office was actually the nurse's office. So you'd be right across from all the kids with, bloody noses and stuff. So guess who's waiting across the hall from me? Ivan is sitting there with his bloody nose. He's got something stuck up his nose so it's not bleeding everywhere, and he's just glaring at me. The most angry Russian look you've ever seen. So finally, the principal comes out, goes, come on in. So I walk by, hear Ivan say something under his breath in Russian. He's like, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand it, obviously, because it's in Russian. I walk in and I sit down, and the principal will ask me, why are you here? Now at this point, I realize they never told him what I did. They just kind of like, oh, you're in trouble, sit here, he'll talk to you in a minute. So that knowing that he did not know what I did, I simply told him I had no idea why I was there. Now, I don't know why I thought this would work, because obviously someone would tell him sooner or later, oh, he tripped a poor Russian kid and gave him a bloody nose. But me being, I don't know, probably about 10 at the time, didn't think about it. I just said, I really don't know. He looks at me, I look at him, he goes out, he asks one of the duties, they tell him, now I'm in a lot of trouble. It wouldn't have been a big deal, he would have just been like, oh, don't be so rough out there. But then I had to tell him that I had no idea why I was there, making it seem like I thought it was okay that I gave this poor Russian kid a bloody nose. Well, so the next thing he does that all principals do, he calls your parents. So they've got all the numbers on file, so he calls my parents' house phone, and my dad was stay at home. He didn't work. He had a bum leg, so it didn't work very much. So he's at home, but he did not pick up the phone. This is my saving grace right here. He did not pick up the phone. So he leaves a message, and he has him leave the first half, and then he gives it to me. So he's saying, oh, this is blah, 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 calling from elementary school. I have your son, Ben, here. He was tripping kids, and he was telling lies, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to let him leave his side real quick. We're going to need to contact you later. So I get on the phone, and I say what I did. Obviously, the principal's right there. I'm not just about to be like, oh, hey, Dad, by the way, good sandwich. Thanks for lunch. But no. But I finished leaving my side of the story, and that's pretty much the end of it. He gives me this piece of paper that I'm supposed to take home. My parents are supposed to sign it, make sure that they do know what happened. And he didn't give me any kind of, in-school punishment, which was actually very common at my elementary school. Most of the time, kids, if they got in trouble, they had bad grades or something, they would actually go out and chip the ice in front of the school that was on the sidewalks. But either way, so I go home with this paper that I need my parents to sign, and when I get home, my dad's not home. So apparently he had actually gone on, I think he went down to the river near my house, and he was going on a kayaking trip or something. But for some reason, he was not home when I got home. Which means that message that normally he would see was still on the answering machine. So now I'm kind of stuck between, do I delete it? Or, just forge a signature, which I have done multiple times. And I don't know if the principal's going to check back again. I go with my gut and I delete the message. I straight on delete the message. I bring the piece of paper that I'm supposed to sign to my older brother. And I say, hey, you should do me a favor, just kind of make a nice fancy signature that says, blah, blah, blah. I see what's happened. I will punish him, blah, blah, blah. My brother says, sure, not a problem. So he does that. I take the paper in. I give it to the principal. No worries. My parents aren't mad. There's nothing else that's happening at school. Yvonne still hates. I came out clean, though. I had no problem. Now, my mother was a pretty good friend with the receptionist, the front desk lady that worked in the office at my elementary school. They had known each other for a while. I guess they used to work together or something. Well, my mom comes in, and I almost never got picked up. I always rode the bus home. I lived really far out, and my parents worked late, or my mom worked late, so it just never worked out. I got out of school, I think, it was about 3 o'clock, actually. I think it was 3 p.m. Well, either way, I got out at 3 p.m. My mom got off work at 5. There was already a bus route going out my way. I might as well. Well, one day she decides to surprise me, pick me up, and take me out for lunch. Oh! Well, this is also the day after. So she comes in, and I don't know that this is happening, obviously. I'm still, I think I've gotten away with the whole thing. She comes in, goes to the receptionist lady. Oh, hi, I'm going to pick up Ben. He doesn't know I'm picking him up, though. She goes, oh, not a problem. I'm sorry to hear about what he did the other day. And, of course, my mom says, What are you talking about? She goes on, tells her what happens, saying, oh, don't you know about it? You signed the paper. And I get in trouble. I get in a lot. This is the first time it had ever happened. I had never been sent to the principal's office. I was a really quiet kid. I didn't do anything. I hung out. I poked trees with sticks. I hung out with friends. I wasn't a troublesome kid. And now this happens. She was livid. And she didn't let me know at first. I get the message saying, oh, your parents are here. You can leave. So I'm like, oh, cool. Yay, she surprised me. Not a problem. I get down there. She's happy. We get in the car. She's happy. We drive to the lunch place. She's not. She freaks out on me. Blah, 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 blah. How could you lie? I talked to the principal. Blah, 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 blah. I'm in deep shit. and I'm not allowed to have electricity in my room for a month. Well, I hope you guys kind of just enjoyed this little story, a little snippet into my past. I kind of like doing this kind of thing. I enjoy talking, so it kind of works well for me. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy and have a great day.